Why Inside Job hits all the right notes. When Alec Hirsch's name is attached to a project in any way, shape, or form, you know it's going to be pretty great. You got Gravity Falls, of course, but also The Owl House, Into the Spider-Verse, Amphibia, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, and most recently, Inside Job. While his roles in these different projects vary, each one has Hirsch's magic touch to some extent, because everything he touches turns to gold, including, like I mentioned, Inside Job, which is just what I'll be diving into in this video. Hirsch serves as an executive producer for the science fiction comedy series Inside Job. The adult animated series dropped on Netflix back in 2021 and currently sits at 18 episodes over 2 seasons. As far as I know, season 3 is not confirmed or in the works at all, but what we did get in those 2 seasons was pretty great. The show's overarching concept being one that focuses in on conspiracy theory, shadow government, is pretty interesting. It seems right up the alley for names attached to the show. They explore this topic in some really fun ways, and the fanbase attached to this Netflix original, at least from my experience, is shockingly large. But honestly, it makes all the sense in the world why this show is able to be beloved as it is. Now, I'll briefly mention here about a probably made up phenomenon in the animation realm that Inside Job does a good job at avoiding. And that is the rinse and repeat method. It's basically just when a creator comes back to work on a project with a similar art style, plot, or is actually just a sequel. Except it's always the case that these are slightly or a lot worse than the original. Just look at Solar Opposites, Disenchantment, Legend of Korra, Close Enough, Tuca and Birdie, the list goes on. The creators try and squeeze every ounce of greatness that their original show was able to produce, but the new shows just can never quite stack up. However, Inside Job was able to have just enough of Gravity Falls vibe while still being very different that it can be difficult to even compare the two sometimes. So with this show diving into a whole bunch of fun conspiracy theory topics, it makes for some really fun episodes. While this isn't an episode ranking video, I will mention my favorite plot point that the show has to offer, and it came in the season 2 finale. Getting to see Reagan become CEO and have to make a super interesting decision on her future, in my opinion, makes for the show's best moments. She surrenders her potential happiness for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. It's cool to see a deep dive on a protagonist as you get a good glimpse into just how crazy her situation is and the decision she has to make is. Unfortunately for us, we don't really get to see the direct ramifications of Reagan's huge choice since the show wasn't picked up for a 3rd season. But never mind that. It's great to focus on just what we got from the show because it's some great stuff. What I might just appreciate the most about this show is how it doesn't just settle. It does have all the makings, like its art style, its episodic nature, to be yet another below average adult animated piece of trash. Kinda like all these. They're generic, lazy, mass-produced and manufactured pieces of crud. Inside Job could have easily found itself following suit with these shows, but it was able to be interesting and story-focused enough to set itself apart. Additionally, you can see the heart and dedication that not only the cast and crew had towards this franchise, but also the small yet mighty fanbase that surrounds the show. And truly, at the end of the day, who doesn't love seeing the world's most interesting and fun conspiracies and theories explored through a wide range of wacky, dysfunctional characters? I know I do. And it's as simple as that. All that is just why Inside Job hits all the right notes.